All right, so here's an example of a incident response investigation with Velociraptor. Now that you've got it working, so you infect your Windows machine with some malware I wrote, which is just, I think, something simple like a batch file, and you turn off your defenses, because this is pretty sleazy stuff I wrote, and all it does is pop up a box saying your machine is pwned. And so once you've got it there, what it does, it now is using these attack techniques: user execution of malicious file. It makes a registry run key to make it automatically start on startup, and it disables or modifies tools. I think it does something like disable the firewall or something like that. So now you can investigate it. So the only thing you start is you have a person who tells you their Windows machine is popping up this box. That's all the information you have to start with. So you take your Velociraptor server and you can connect to the client wherever they are, and you can now find out what's going on there. So you can now go to your collection and you can choose collections from a long list of collections. This is why Velociraptor is so great. You can just choose forensic investigations from a list of hundreds, scripts written by people donating them to Velociraptor and the development team that do almost all of the standard forensic things. So here it's going to run the sysinternals tool called auto runs that will list all the things that are automatically running on that machine, which is pretty awesome. And it will install that tool on the client too. So you just let it go. It finds 1,341 auto runs, which is a lot. You can download a file in CSV format, and you can open it in a text file or a spreadsheet, and you can find the thing that's going to run PUP4 message. So this tells you there is a thing automatically launched called PUP4 message. Now, you do not know yet that that is necessarily the message that's irritating the user. You can also get the MD5 of it if you run PS list. Again, there's just a collector here, Windows System PS list. This will give you a system, a list of running processes, and it will give you the MD5 and other hashes of the process. So you could take that hash and then run it in something like VirusTotal to see if it's a known piece of malware, for example, or record it as an indicator of compromise once you're convinced this is a bad file, and then you could scan the other machines to see if they have a file with that hash. Then you can go to, now if you want to verify that that running process is creating the irritating message, you can fetch the memory. There's a Windows triage process memory artifact, which will collect the memory in use by any process you want. And you can bring it down, and then you can just read it. You can examine it with the strings tool on your Linux machine. It is using Windows 16-bit characters, not ASCII, so you have to use the -EL file on there, and then you'll find those strings. Your computer is pwned by double bad, which now verifies that this is indeed the process popping up that message with the string you knew. So now you can use Yara, which is a tool very much like grep that just looks for patterns of bytes or characters in a file. And you can run this to find files that contain certain characters. So here, this file contained pwn, and I might wonder if there are more files that are part of this attack, or more copies of this file on the machine. So you can run scanning the entire NTFS volume, looking for any file that contains the string pwned. And this won't take very long. I think it took like 20 or 30 seconds. It scans all through the entire hard drive, and it finds that there's only one copy of it, C pup4 message.exe. So now you know what remediation is. And all you can open a shell and execute commands. But when I did it, it didn't work. So I think this remote shell command didn't work when I tried it. So for real remediation, I just, the Velociraptor shell didn't seem to work. And there's been an argument in the Velociraptor team whether to provide this remote shell capability or not. But anyway, on the Windows machine, you can just clean it off with these 3 commands in a task manager. You kill the running process, you delete the registry key that's bringing it up, and you delete the executable. That's enough to completely clean off this little piece of simple malware. And anyway, it shows you the kind of thing you can do with Velociraptor. It's very powerful with built-in collectors for all the major forensic activities. So I highly recommend it in any incident response or computer forensics class. All right, that's it for this one.